Good morning.
Hi.
It is May 31st. Is there a 31st?
There is.
Okay, it's May 31st.
It's a glorious day in the neighborhood.
It is.
Sun shining, breeze blowing, birds singing.
There goes Bear Paw and Sister Paw. Bear Paw started March 21st, so he is absolutely flying. And he started out with guns. And she had told us about him, so it's really cool to get to meet him. Sister Paw is out hiking with him until Wednesday, and then she's got to go back. But this was a super nice place to camp. We really had a good spot. It was quiet.
Cars weren't a problem.
Yeah, so it's awesome. So it's about, well, it's 7:45, and we're heading out of camp. Wow. What is this, Rich?
That thing in the sky? That evil sorcery?
Sunshine. Now, there's upsides and downsides. It's certainly not been hot and sweaty the last 2 days, but it's nice to see the sun. This is a beautiful stretch of woods. We're getting ready to climb a lot. How much, Rich?
Oh, probably
8.
800 or so.
800.
It's not that.
So, and there's beaver dam decisions.
Beaver dam.
Yeah. After reading the gut hug comments and talking to some people, I think we're gonna forego the beaver dam.
Sorry for the video, folks.
Yeah, for the video, it would be awesome to see us slogging around on top of it, but everything we've read and talked to going around is prudent. We have climbed up pretty much since we left. This is the Cyrus C. Sturgis marker into the horseshoe trail. Yes, he's looking at the horseshoe. There's one on the tree right there. What are you doing? What are you looking at? He's looking. Just looking, huh? Yeah. Well, that wasn't a bad climb. I mean, we both were saying it would have been a lot worse if we'd have kept going last night. But when you start out fresh, a lot of it was an old road. And Rich was seeing these cut off telephone poles. So maybe at some point in time long ago, there was power running along here. Who knows? You ready, Freddie? Yeah. Well, we are 6.5 into our hike. We've had some super easy trail. It's trying to get a little trickier, but we can't complain. We've had really nice water, nice flat trail, and we're about 4.5 miles from Rausch Shelter, where we will have lunch before we climb this hill. What do you think?
I think that little gully wash back there in the middle of the woods was kind of cool.
Oh, well, you told me not to video it, so I didn't.
Just a big old ditch in the middle of the woods for no apparent reason.
Yeah, we came to a T, and we were like, well, which way do we go? And it was down. So, yeah, I'm climbing now, so I guess I'll turn this off. This is more like the trail that we've been on most of the morning. And we just stopped at the Yellow Springs mailbox, and we're chatting with some guys that were on a short hike. There's a lot of camping up there, but I think I read in Gut Hook, because it's a coal mine ruin, you definitely want to bring your own water in. But there have been a lot of tent sites along the way, much better than some of the sections we've seen where you can't find a tent site for miles. And we should be getting the shelter probably in about 4 miles. This is Rausch Creek, and there has been tent sites hither and yon. There's one over there. I have no idea how you get to it. We're almost to the shelter. It's a little over 11 miles from where we left this morning. Clark Creek, whatever it was, already forgot. That's why we video. It's been great trail. There's a little muddy spots here and there, but we're gonna come in here, have some lunch, and figure out what's next. This is a tent site on the trail heading toward the shelter. It's 3 tents. I mean, it's flat as a pancake, but we need a break. Otherwise, we probably would have just kept going. We didn't realize it was this far. This is a water system at the Roush Shelter, which is pretty amazing. And we had lunch. We met a couple kids who were through hiking. I didn't get their name, and then Pop 360, whose wife, Daisy's mom, does trail magic. So we might get lucky and see her at Swatara Gap. I don't know. But we had a good lunch, and now we got to get moving down the trail again. We're This is our first waterfall that I've seen. Now granted, it's coming out of a pipe, but still, it's a waterfall. We are going on the bridge over Roush Creek, and then we should see the reroute for the beavers here pretty quick. So, yes, after you cross that bridge at Rausch Creek, you'll see this sign, alternate dry route. If you want to go play with the beavers, go that way. I'm not sure if we walked this the whole 1.6, but it's easy going, and we were reading a gut hug comment, and it's only 4/10 longer, excuse me, than staying on trail, so kind of a no-brainer to us. We'll see beaver dams in Vermont. Okay, there's a sign to go toward the AT, and we didn't even think to check, but Gut Hook has the beaver reroute on it. So if you take the beaver reroute, you'll still be able to see where you are. So that's good to know. And we are heading back to the trail. So we've been walking through the woods with a local. What's your name?
Calvin.
Calvin, and Calvin knows all there is to know about these woods, and he was telling us why these trees are like this.
Yeah, spotted lanternfly. I'm not sure. They're from somewhere in Asia. I'm not sure if it was China or Japan.
And it's really decimated them. And Calvin said the way you can tell is like these tunnels in the wood. Shows you that it was them. We have just popped out into a nice meadow. And looks like there's a campsite over there. There was a campsite right before the meadow. I should have looked at my watch to tell you that mileage, but we're like 2 miles from Swatara Gap, so I'm not going to say a number because it'll be wrong. But yeah, we're really enjoying this sunny day, and Calvin's just been walking along with us because his car is at one of the roads up here. We're going to try to push maybe 18, 19, maybe a 20. I don't know. We're doing well, and we're adding a little every day, so we'll just see how it goes. Well, this is Swatara State Park, and camping is prohibited. We just said goodbye to Calvin. He was really a pleasure to walk with. He knew so much about the area. And now we're gonna just kind of keep tootling along and figure out when the time gets to be about time to find a place to camp. Hopefully we'll find something. I'm not entirely sure what I think about this. I guess, oh, we don't, the trail is this way?
Blaze over there.
The blaze is over there.
Yeah. Want me to go
Oh,
first?
dang. Nah, I'll do it.
Okay.
Well, this one, you're just on your own. Heck. Well, it's just one little surprise after the next. I think in some of the comments we've seen that sometimes this can flood. We just hopped over on the rocks. No shoes got wet. So, yeah. The obstacle course.
You're right on time.
Man! Calvin!
2 miles from where I left you guys.
So you can go into Lickdale that way.
That's fine, what we do, yeah. So your car's over there?
Yep.
Okay.
So Calvin met us here, and he has iced tea. How awesome is that? And there's a garbage can. This is a very cool place. And we're gonna still go a good distance, but we have tea, so that's gonna make it awesome. Yeah, of course you can get water here. We got water at the last water site that was like right past P433, I think. It was good water. So we're set. Very cool. The Berlin Union Bridge. East Berlin, Connecticut, I guess. The guys were talking about locks and all kinds of interesting stuff. But down here in the parking lot is where the garbage can is. And hopefully, if we're lucky, it will be empty. I tell you, it's the little things. Sweet tea and a garbage can. Well, that was such a nice treat and a nice break. Thanks again, Calvin. Not only did he give us tea, he gave us some cheese and Slim Jims, and also gave Lauren, who we met down there. She was coming around the corner, and I said, garbage can, and she got so excited, and Calvin just kept laughing because he didn't understand how important a garbage can is to a thru hiker. So we have to climb 600 feet at the end of the day to find a place to camp. But it'll be fine. We'll take our time. There'll be more explanations later, but This is between us and what we hope is a campsite. We are here at the lookout. It's a very long story. And honestly, we expected maybe a little better tenting. It is pretty darn late, and we have come way more miles than I care to discuss. So I'm just going to come out here and see what the view is like while Rich tries to figure out where we're putting the tent. Oh, wow. Well, that doesn't suck, does it? There's your view. I'll go in phases. It's awfully pretty. Well, there'll be more explanations in a minute. I can't remember, I'll have to check, but this is the area called the Lookout. There is where our tent is, and that path down there is the one that goes to that absolutely gorgeous overlook. I'm going to try very hard after dark to come out and see how it looks at night, but I'm so tired it may not happen. I'll do my best. Good evening.
We're on an interesting overlook.
Yes, I took some videos of it.
Nice night up here.
Yeah, so we started at 1167.2 maybe,
Yeah.
and we are now at 1189.7. Yeah, do the math, kids.
That's a rough day for up here. But the terrain was pretty good most of the day. And
It was an accident. It was totally an accident. Yeah, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. It was an accident. We were gonna stop. We wanted to go past Swatara Gap, which we got to like at 4. It was very reasonable. And Calvin was so sweet and met us and brought us tea, and it was so awesome.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, and so we had a couple
nice
miles. Man. Yes, we had a couple miles to do. No
buddy,
worries.
thanks. If you're watching this, thanks again.
Yes, thank you. It saved our lives, especially with what was to come.
Made a big difference, man. Really.
But so we headed up, and the gut hook comments, we got sucked in where one was like, yeah, that tent site, there's a dead tree. Well, there was. Oh, go a tenth farther. There's a good site.
It was like 15 feet further.
And we saw this site. We were like, well, that's not it. Let's keep going. And there was nothing for a really long time. So we got this wild hair that we would come to the lookout.
She's got a frog in her pocket.
No, you were down for it. You were excited to do it. That's what you said, unless you were just lying. But yeah, it was arduous, and we finally started seeing some campsites. But by that point, we were so close. We were like, let's just do it.
The terrain up here wasn't terrible, actually.
No, there was some real. Were you seeing?
3/4 of it was really pretty easy trail.
Which I didn't film any of that because we were running.
And 1/4 of it was,
Well, you saw that
hard.
boulder field right before we got here. I wanted to leave. I was just like, oh, this is just a sick, twisted joke. How badly do you want to get to this place? So yeah, we survived it. Now, granted, that was more than we should have done.
Man, Pennsylvania's a blue-collar state. If you can't handle it, you need to get out of the kitchen.
Yeah, but that was more than we should have done. However, tomorrow we're doing less than 7, and our trail angel, Quiet John, is going to pick us up at the 501 shelter, and we are going to have a Nero plus a 0. So our bodies can repair.
There's still a lot to do. You got to resupply and
sure, but we won't be
do
hiking.
all the things and make a bunch of phone calls, and it's a work day, so there'll be some of that going on. And
But I mean, overall, let's see, if we're at 1189, we've blown past 300 miles big time. So yeah, I mean, we're not like living and dying by the mileage, but we felt great today. I mean, that last couple miles, it was stressful.
The weather was amazing.
Right.
The hardest part of the day was doing that climb right at the end. And then there's that nerve-wracking thing is a tent site that you think you're going to be worth a crap.
And is there going to be a bunch of people there? Which, of course, there weren't. And thank heaven there weren't, because there's really one nice place to put it.
We had time to get to the shelter, which was another 3 miles down the road. But one of the comments in Godhook was that it was a very popular shelter.
And that would have been
often overcrowded.
And that would have been like a 24.5. So that would have been just stupid. But we did beat our record, I think. I mean, I seriously can't even do math. My brain's broken. But last year, we did a 23 into Standing Bear our last day on trail after we'd been out 3 weeks. But we didn't get in until 9 o'clock at night. We got in here at 7:15. So, I mean, we've been out here almost a month.
We actually started out in the dark that day, too.
Yeah.
And we finished in the dark.
Yeah.
The days are so much shorter. That, it makes it hard.
Right. But I think, is there anything else you want to say? Because I want to turn this off. So
haven't seen any cicadas up here.
No.
Not in the last couple days. Not in the last 3 days, honestly.
But, so, there's bugs.
Maybe we're out of them. We haven't heard the strange alien. Oh.
I mean, if we can find some permethrin on our 0 day, we probably will retreat everything because it's starting to be bug time.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, okay, well, thanks as always for watching.
Yeah.
And we have had very sporadic cell service. We actually have service up here, so I'm going to try to catch up on comments. But it's on Instagram and on YouTube, I try to get to them all. If I ever miss a comment, it sure isn't intentional because we sure appreciate them.
All right.
Thank you.
Night, guys.
Night.